It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Alaja Nima Akashat. Zuberi, how you doing?
I'm fine. So we had, myself and YK got an invitation to the Our Lady of Apostles Senior Secondary School, Ijebu, the 70th anniversary, which is coming up from the 25th to the 27th of January. I call them the School of First Ladies because the lady that was introducing to us said, Alhaja Sinat Ojukutu went to our school. The First Lady, Remi Tinubu, went to our school. The First Lady of Lagos was to our school. I said, School of First Ladies. But I like that they had so many exemplary products from the school who are leading the society today. I think it's a great mentorship because, being a girls' school, they have, achieving women. They talked about plenty of them. I couldn't even remember, but the event starts tomorrow till...
So you're going to Djibouti?
So like a week. Are you traveling or online?
You're just doing publicity for
them. I have attended like this. Okay. Congratulations on the 70th.
Oh, my goodness.
How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very good. So yesterday I had a client who came from Dublin. He's a customer, he's a fan of the show, and is a customer for Rep 360. He has bought multiple times in 2 different locations, and he has met all my team, but he has never met me. He's been around once before. This is the 2nd time, and I'm happy I got to meet him. I posted his picture, Mr. Adeleye. He's going to be 60 this year as well, and he did a photo shoot. I'm like, it's just so interesting that the love I get from customers, especially those in diaspora who have experienced bad property purchasing, they've had bad property purchasing experience in Nigeria, and this person is like an advocate. He was like, if everybody in Nigeria is like Tokwe, that is hardworking and doing, I said, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I was just over the conversation. I'm grateful for you.
I get you.
I'm grateful. I know, but it's the truth, and I'll post the video, and I'm grateful for every other customer that I've not done video and pictures with one by one over time. God bless you for keeping...
I have to be sending videos and pictures. It's something I'm still battling. I'm blessed with very shy customers. Send me a video. No, don't post it. Don't post it. How will people know that I am selling now? Yeah. But I have a free gift for people. I have a smart goal setting and effective vision board workshop on the 3rd of February. It's a free event. It's a physical event if you're staying in Lagos. I'll be posting the details. One of the reasons I wanted to do this was start the year by giving back, deploying my skills. I'm also doing it with another life coach as well. She's a manifestation goddess. So we're going to be segueing from goal setting to manifestation, how you can use both to achieve your goals. And I'm looking forward to it. Everything is almost sorted for the program, but registration is required. We're going to select the people we want because we don't need more than 20, I think 23, 25, yeah.
Fantastic.
How you doing?
I like what you're wearing.
I really like it too. I'm going to get more of it.
Was it ready to wear?
No, Ogechi ready for me. I have one young lady. That's my new
Ogechi to the world.
Yes, so
that one too. This one too looks like
Ogechi.
First lady dress.
Yeah. Brown's like, yeah, this is you.
I like it.
I'm going to go do more of it.
It's really cool.
I like it.
Very beautiful.
All right, let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start now with The Nation. Tiers of government share 1.1 trillion naira from Federation account revenue. President promises development of Niger Delta at meeting with monarchs. US seeks removal of barriers to investments. We removed Ogun Speaker because of arrogance and fund misapplication. EFCC, how ex-HOS head of service Oyoita laundered millions. Plan to unify forex rate reporting underway. Shake-up in police intelligence operations and storm in Plateau House of Assembly. Okay, which story are we starting with in The Nation?
Major headline.
Major headline.
Congratulations to us. All the tiers of government shared 1.1 trillion naira yesterday from the Federation account, and this is a steady growth from the time the president took over.
Huge payday.
Yes, it was huge, and they saved over 500. About 500 billion was saved for future needs that we might have, and 1.67 trillion. That was the amount that was shared. And they continue to grow. They started with 655 billion that was shared in May when President removed subsidy and steadily continued to grow. So last year, September, it was the highest. Now we have another highest with the recent federal allocation account money shared across all state government. So the federal, state, and local governments are all getting from this.
All right. So a witness of the EFCC, Mr. Hama Adama Bello, has told the Federal High Court in Abuja how the immediate past head of service, Mrs. Winifred Oyoita, used her companies to launder government funds while in service. He testified in court. He said that his team received intelligence from the Office of the Anti-Graft Agency back in 2019, and they resumed investigation. So according to them, they said that Oyoita and her special assistant, Ubong Efyong, had received analyzed documents relating to the intelligence, and they found out that the team had interactions with them. They discovered that the first defendant, that's these two people, had maintained two accounts, one with Zenith Bank and the other with another bank, I think is Zenith Bank PLC for Frontline Ace Global Services. And they actually realized that there were payments of 124 million that passed through those accounts. So they had fictitious accounts that they had interest in using those accounts to get contracts from the companies. But it's been investigated, and I'm happy that that's on the way.
Okay, so the U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, was with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the State House in Abuja yesterday. And after their meeting, they had, he had to talk to journalists as well with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Maitama Tuga. And we know that Blinken is on a 4-nation African tour. So he says that Nigeria offers real, clear, compelling opportunities for investors, right? But at the same time, we have quite some challenges that we need to really overcome to be able to unlock our full potentials. And one of those is corruption, and also making it easier for companies to repatriate their capital. That when we are able to sort out all of these, we'll see that the American companies are ready to come in here and do businesses with us, that they also understand the bold reforms that the president has started, which is trying to unify the currency and also end fuel subsidy. But we have an issue with that corruption especially, and the fact that we're not able to repatriate some of these companies' money at the end of the day because of the lack of forex that we have. But that when we can sort this out, there are amazing opportunities that we can maximize. And American companies are ready to come in here and invest, and they're going to be investing. They also would like to have a level playing field and a conducive environment to be able to carry out their business. That once this is good, we have a huge opportunity to excel while they are also while we are rubbing off on them as well. We are the largest democracy, we're the largest African nation, we're the largest everything, so to speak. So they are excited to work with us, but we just need to clean house and put ourselves in order.
I want to take the story about the shake-up in the police force. That was the way it was reported, but actually it is more of appointments of 54 assistant police commissioners. They have been deployed as heads of intelligence units, zonal and state command nationwide, and the instruction is for them to improve and enhance the effectiveness of the intelligence department in every level of the police force as a panacea to addressing the criminal rates in the country. The first spokesman, Olumiwa Adejobi, was speaking yesterday, and even the IGP was speaking yesterday, said that the IGP has deployed the ACPs because there's been increase in the rates of kidnapping that we've heard. But he also mentioned the case of self-kidnapping, and they detailed some self-kidnappings that have happened. In Lagos, a couple, one is a technician and a masseuse. The wife is a masseuse. Both of them fake kidnapped themselves to raise 5 million naira. They want to use 3 million naira to purchase property in Badagry, and they were caught. Another person in Abuja was fake kidnapped himself. A young boy said that his family member is not helping him, so he faked his kidnapping so that a particular family member that lives in River Park, Abuja, would be able to rescue him. They need to raise funds, so they are faking kidnapping to raise funds. And so they said the police is on the lookout, and Nigerians should be on the lookout, and they should not think that by helping without informing police, they are helping the person. They might actually be a vessel for funneling. They might be undergoing extortion from people who are faking the kidnapping. He's not saying there are no real kidnappings. He's just saying that in addition to the real ones, there are also fake ones. And these new 54 intelligence ACPs would help provide more intelligence.
All right, moving on quickly now to the Punch kidnapping epidemic. Kano, 9 others, more death sentence and life jail. Lincoln Miss Tinubu pledges $45 million security fund from Nigeria and others, actually. 2 arrested over man's death after hotel sex romp. INEC meets security agencies over February 3rd by-elections. 4 billion naira theft. EFCC arraigned Obiano today and aid defense ex-governor. FG to sell 5 power plants for $1 billion. Naira depreciation pushes drug imports to 900 billion naira. Nigeria's lambast Wike for downplaying abduction epidemic. Okay.
I have the major headline again. Just following the kidnapping epidemic across the country, 10 states, including Kwara, Ondo, Osun, Kano, Bayelsa, Benue, Enugu, Anambra, and Nasarawa, are insisting on the death sentence on kidnappers. So, yes, Kano, under the former administration, had signed into law the death sentence for kidnapping. Ranging from states, they have the death sentence. For Bayelsa, I think it's once you're caught for kidnapping, it is death sentence. But some other states have it for if the victim dies in captivity or if you kill your victim deliberately and all of that.
You need some public shows.
Or some whose victims did not die from life imprisonment to death sentence across these 10 states. And I'm hoping that all other states follow suit.
And they do it immediately too.
Yes, we need that.
Leaving them in the prison for a long time.
Yeah.
Besides that, we should not have them waiting for so long.
Yes.
So they don't teach their tricks to other people. I want to take the story of Naira depreciation pushing our drug imports. So drug prices have continued to rise, and those drug prices would rise based on exchange rates. They said that Nigeria imports most of its drug being consumed in Nigeria from China, India, Malaysia, Netherlands, Belgium. And in 2022, Nigeria spent, was at exchange rate of 451 to $1. We spent about $1 billion to import. And that in February 2024, with the exchange rate of 902 to $1, it will cost 950 billion naira to import drugs into the country. And of course, some of these drugs are basic. We're talking gaze, we're talking bandage, and the like, dressing, adhesive, plasters. The basic pharmaceuticals that we need on a daily basis will now be costing a whole lot. In August, we recollect that GSK, GlaxoSmithKline Company, has announced that they are going to shut down their operation, and that's because of the cost of importation and how it's becoming difficult. And we're having
because some of them don't produce here. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So we have local production, we have Emzor, we have Evans, we have Orange, we have them all along the Solo Road here.
Do they produce?
They produce here. There are pharmaceutical companies that produce here. So let us have an intervention in that sector and deal with it. We can have our drugs here.
Let's go on a short. Oh, okay. You have to run off. That's all we can take on this short break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we're still with Punch. Let me take the story concerning Nigeria's lambast Wike. So what happened was that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has come under serious fire for his comments about the kidnappings going on in Abuja. Angered by his statement, the Northern Elders Forum, Middle Belt Forum, Youth Forum, and others have said they described him as being insensitive and what he said unfortunate. according to them, at the last count, over 25 persons had been kidnapped within 2 weeks in the FCT. So what happened? He said that, according to what Nisa Wike said, he said, the former governor of Rivers said, some politicians are bent on making sure the government does not survive. And what do? They create unnecessary tension and carry out propaganda that something is happening here. That to tell you that, they will tell you that 25 people have been kidnapped, but that you cannot stop crime anywhere. There are those who are blackmailers who are paid to make this kind of propaganda. We can dismiss the public outrage over the kidnappings as unnecessary, saying you cannot stop total crime. Let somebody tell me, as a professional, that there is anywhere in this world where there is no crime. Because kidnapping happened last night in 1 or 2 places, therefore there is insecurity in the whole of FCT. That is not correct. So obviously, the Northern Elders Forum said that it was quite insensitive of him to say that.
This is not River State, where you hold assembly and everybody say, is it not? They say not. This is the FCT. It is not. Yes, and cultures are different. And, you know, and it is very insensitive. He shouldn't have even responded. He should just continue to do his work. And make sure that, you know, the place is safe. It's not time for bantering and response.
Ondo State Police Command yesterday arrested 2 persons in connection with the death of a man, Abiodu Akintomowo, in Ondo State. And they said he reportedly lost his life after allegedly having a sex romp with a woman suspected to be his girlfriend in a hotel located at Akin Jagula community on Sunday. So the State Police Public Relations Officer, Mrs. Fumilayo, was the one who declined to reveal the identity of the suspect, but said one of them was the girlfriend and the other person was the owner of the hotel where the incident happened. So according to the story, they said he wasn't feeling fine after the sex romp. The girlfriend in the room started, you know, screaming and got help. By the time they came, they tried to revive him, but he had lost his life. So they quickly took him to so he collapsed after that.
Not cardiac.
They took him, we don't know yet, maybe, took him to the hospital and realized that he had died. So they had reported the matter to the police. They put him in the morgue. They are waiting investigation.
All these old men that are having girlfriends, tell them take it
They didn't tell us his age, so he may also be young.
Look young now. Look at the man. This look at the young.
So that's the Commissioner of Police for Lagos State.
I
did not see the picture. Oh, this is Mr.
Yes, they didn't tell us the age of the man in question. It's just a pity.
Moving on now to Daily Sun. Two wells again. Ex-Anambra Governor Obiano for arraignment over 4.8 billion naira fraud. Will resist Shell's exit from Niger Delta without cleanup and compensation, says the organization there, CPEJ. Tinubu meets South-South monarchs, assures on completion of East-West Road. Traders protest harassment of officials in Anambra. INEC alerts of plans to disrupt by-elections by party supporters and candidates. And yeah, okay, which story?
The Niger Delta. So the particular group, the CEPEJ, actually stands for Center for Justice and Center for Peace and Environmental Justice. And they were speaking concerning the fact that SPDC, that's Shell Petroleum Development Company, they will resist their exits from Nigeria. The Shell has already announced that they were going to exit Nigeria. They've sold their onshore assets. They've sold it to a group of companies led by Renaissance and 4 other companies. However, they said that they need to clean up the Ogoni area. The cleanup has been pending for such a long time, and there's a need for it to be done now. And that if they leave, there might be a case of, oh, it wasn't us that did it, or the company has been sold. So the environmentalists and stakeholders in Niger Delta have made this position known in Abuja by its national coordinator, Sheriff Molad, during the press conference. And he said that the federal government should do the needful. They will not allow Shell to exit the land until the proper cleanup is done. The president should have conversations with them. There's been a lot of illegal bunkering that is degrading the area even further. He pointed out that there's immediate concern to ensure that the buyout is not complete. That's the Shell is trying to sell out their stake. Is not complete until they have already done their part in fixing or in cleaning up the program. That the cleanup has been promised, but it's been failed. But now they want a complete job before Shell exits Nigeria. I think it is not a bad request to make.
So still on the Niger Delta, They've been talking about how to get a better infrastructure for the Niger Delta, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured the South-South Monarch Forum that he will look into the construction of the East-West Road. They said that the contract for dualization of the 338-kilometer East-West Road was awarded in 4 sections to 4 different contractors under the Olusegun Obasanjo administration. But almost 2 decades later, nothing was, done to the roads. Now, the Abdul Ningi-led Senate ad hoc committee on fact-finding on the East-West Road last October had expressed, concern over the duplication of the East-West Road contract by the Federal Ministry of Works and Niger Delta Development Commission, that's the NDDC, state and local government. And so that's, sort of threw up a lot of compromises, and they were not able to get anywhere with the concept and construction. So speaking to the State House correspondent after meeting with the President Tinubu at the presidential villa, the chairman of Delta State Traditional Rulers, Felix Mojabiro, and paramount ruler of Emoha Kingdom, Sergeant Awuse, and also the monarchs, had a catalog of what they wanted the president to do. They said he is a listening president, so they would like him to look into this. They talked about the fact that Niger Delta does not have good infrastructure, in as much as the fact that most of the resources are coming from Niger Delta. They need to do the place properly. They also talked about opening some of the ports in the region, because by that, when that is done, they will have proper employment for the youth of Niger Delta. And they're asking them to redefine, what they talk when they talk about crude stealing. That sometimes it seems as if they are putting it on the youths, that they are the ones stealing the crude, but they need to look deep within to see that it's not even the youths of the state that are putting in the crude, and have conversations with the stakeholders, the local chiefs, so that they feel like they belong to the place and they can protect the resources there.
Governor of Plateau State, Governor Caleb, has declared or imposed a 24-hour curfew in the Mangu local government area of the state. And the Sun then said this is following the 200 people who were murdered during the Christmas Eve, the massacre that happened in 3 local governments in Barakin-Ladi, Bodos, and Mangu across the state. And his statement is the Director of Press and Public Affairs says this new directive is following the deteriorating security situation in the state. The recent one is just, what they call skirmishes between the Fulani headsmen, but the governor in his wisdom thinks this is the time to issue it. I would have preferred this curfew was immediately following those massacres so that, it is caught, but this is when it was.
Right. So the immediate past governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, will today be arraigned on a 9-count charge before the Abuja division of the Federal High Court. Sorry?
Is he around?
Well, they're expecting him to be in court today over an alleged over 4 billion naira money laundering offenses. Guess what? We'll be talking about this security vote. Well, this is one of those. The anti-graft agency alleged that the ex-governor moved over 4 billion naira from security votes into different accounts. Added that the money was at various times changed into dollar and now given to him in cash. Wow. That's an allegation. So competent sources at the commission confirmed to Daily Sun that Obiano will be prosecuted by Sylvester Tahir before Justice Iyan Eko of the Federal High Court. The chairman of the EFCC, that's Olu Kayode, had recently vowed to review all abandoned high-profile cases, especially those involving former governors and ministers. Okay, let's take the Vanguard. How federal government others gained over ₦1 trillion from naira depreciation. Implement #EndSARS report. US tells federal government. EFCC arraigns Obiano over the alleged 4 billion naira fraud today. $20 billion Dangote refinery marketers propose payments in naira. Rivers elders kick as court shuns suit against Tinubu's peace pact. Why we impeach speaker, says Ogun Assembly. And jackpot over 32,000 Nigerians apply for international passports in 2 weeks. Standoff in Plateau as police battle 16 sacked PDP lawmakers. Which story?
Okay, Ogun State House of Assembly, 18 members of the House out of the 26 members were able to, impeach the speaker yesterday, Mr. Olakunle Oluomo, and they voted and put Mr. Oluda Eselemide as the new speaker representing the state. They said that The grounds for the removal of the speaker was for alleged high-handedness, lack of focus and transparency, arrogance and poor leadership style, financial misappropriation and inciting members against themselves. So they have shall remove him, but the drama, you can find the video online.
Let me take the story of immigration. I don't know why they tagged it Japa, but apparently they said Nigerians are rushing to leave. Did they tell you they were collecting the passport so they can leave? 32,462 persons have so far applied in 2024.
It's small now.
And they have already scheduled they have already scheduled 15,000 for biometric capture and production, which is 50% of the total application. So the conversation is that there's always been the process is faster now. Obviously, they said that out of the assessments. In briefly, the journalist said the assessment of the 32,000 applications, 11,500 were awaiting approval, while 3,400 who made payments were yet to book appointment, and 50% of the total application have been successfully approved for biometric capture, which is an improvement on what had been on ground before. He clarified that they've always automated the system, but what is different now is you can upload all your additional documents, supporting documents can be uploaded online and it will be processed. That for the people that did not even get approval is because some got rejected because the documents probably did not have issues, and there's a 24/7 help desk from the Nigerian Immigration Service to help out with all the challenges.
Okay.
All of this is proof.
The marketers concerning this Dangote refinery, they are all waiting. Everybody is anticipating.
I think they're done Nigeria.
The Ipman has said that they had proposed to Dangote refinery that, listen, let's also transact in Naira. You know, currently right now, there's a registration ongoing for the management of Dangote, and have announced the commencement of registration of distributors of lifting and distribution of the refined products across the nation. So that is on way right now. But Ipman is saying, listen, as we are registering, we're still talking to them and telling them to tell us what the modalities would be. Are you going to give us some credits, or are you going to give us in dollars or Naira? But we are proposing to transact Naira.
Would they be
but
paying in Naira?
But they are yet to find, because a lot of speculations, like Tope and Co have been speculating that they're going to transact in dollars. But
Let
we are
them
hoping.
transact in Naira. Now let's strengthen this Naira.
Would he pay Nigeria in crude oil, Naira?
So we are waiting for them.
If he pays in Naira, if they are buying, they should buy in Naira.
So if you pay in
Do you
Nigeria,
understand?
The entire nation should
Because
be
he's
focused.
buying
Yes,
crude oil,
Naira.
yes, strengthening the Naira. If he buys
Okay.
the crude from Nigeria in Naira.
before, maybe that's our crude now. It's not importing the crude from India. So
Yeah, if he
transact in
pays
Naira.
so he should not sell to us in dollars. He should sell to us in Naira.
Okay, final paper. Let's find a story of not taking. Incessant tariff increase may hinder all subsidy removal, says Ipman. Fruit sellers, carpenters, others, artisans may pay between 500 Naira and 50,000 Naira yearly. That's Oyo State said to begin presumptive tax system. Why Oluomo was sacked as the speaker, EFCC to arraign Obiano, I talked about that. Unable to write Abiodun congratulates him on the Supreme Court verdict. And why Abba Kyari fought me, says Femi additional. Okay,
So public hearing has started for in Oyo State for what the title, the Oyo State Presumptive Tax Bill 2023, which has passed second reading at the House of Assembly, and it is to capture those whose taxes cannot be ascertained whose income cannot be ascertained for the purpose of tax assessment, and they are not also covered under the pay as you earn or direct assessment, and they are artisans, so they'll start to pay between 500 naira to 50,000 naira annually as presumptive tax. The different artisans, bricklayers, block makers, plumbers, all of that will be assessed according to what is presumed to be their income, and they'll pay between.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we want our hot topic of today. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, is hot today because of his utterances concerning the kidnappings that have been happening in FCT. Many Nigerians have come for him for what he said, saying that he's been insensitive and he has totally lost touch with what's actually going on. if you recall, I took it during the paper review where he specifically said that kidnappings and crimes happen across the world, that there's nowhere in the world that crime doesn't happen, and that he believes that this is some kind of a propaganda by those who are the politicians, who are his detractors, trying to deviate attention from what he's doing in the FCT. What are your own thoughts on this? Because many Nigerians have come for him saying that he's even yet to engage the people of the FCT to know what their real issues are, that he has totally focused on politics and not governance of the FCT. What are your thoughts? You can call us on 081-0764 1679 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Entertainment _. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So, ladies, let me start with Nima because
I'm already giving our opinion.
Okay.
Yab's the governor.
The former governor, the minister. Yeah, but let me. Okay, so would you like to go talk?
I feel I hear Nima, which is where most people will sway that even if you feel it is propaganda, just ensure you are doing your best to secure the people in Abuja. But you know, for someone that is inside, that understands the technicalities of what he is doing to secure the lives of people, and seeing that a few reports is being blown out of proportion, for who Wike is, he will talk. We cannot avoid Wike talking. If you don't want Wike to talk, you will not put him in political position, you will not give him any appointment, because by his person, he's not someone that will take it lying down or sitting down. He's been a very vocal minister of... it's like we did have minister in Abuja before him, because he was very vocal. Yes, and so they might not like how vocal he is. He needs to back it up with data. So I love what you said about quoting Fashola's book about the importance of data. Imagine you come up and you say that when you took in government, when you got into power in Abuja, this was the number of reported kidnapping. And as of today, this is the number of reported kidnapping. That is giving me data to say what you are seeing is propaganda. It's like when people were making propaganda that the election that just took place last year was the worst election we've ever experienced. People brought in data that, no, this is the safest election, is the best elections we've had so far in the country. Yes, it has issues. It's not perfect, but statistically, it is better. Then they brought out the data. We had less killings. We had less vote buying. We had less. They broke it down. So if Wike is going to come and say this is propaganda, Wike should supply the data that supports what he's saying. I know, being who he is, he cannot keep quiet. If he feels there's something wrong, he will talk. But if he wants to talk, he should talk with numbers. Let's not just be making noise anymore. You're dealing with intelligent people and dealing with different set of crowd that you're used to before. Yeah,
I agree. I agree with what you just said. And I would first of all start by saying, where is the lie? He hasn't said anything that is not true. However, it's not the complete truth. Because if you look at what has been happening in terms of insecurity holistically, there are different sides to it. Yeah. There are different angles, there are different factions. People have their different agendas. So on some side, we know that there's propaganda. On other sides, we know that politicians like to use the young people to commit whatever just to, give them a form of power. There's usually a power tussle. On another side, we know that there are people who have started using this kidnapping and insecurity as a business. On one other side is a part of terrorism. So I would expect that, like you said, he comes out with the data if he has to stand on it. Because sometimes what happens is when you pick one side and you are a very vocal person, it overshadows the other side. And people will just, you mean now that all the insecurity, you mean now? That's on one hand. Secondly, he didn't show empathy. Right, a leader must know when to speak and when not to. Not everything is necessary. And as you climb the ladder of leadership, you must bridle yourself. You must bridle your tongue. It's called self-regulation. You must regulate yourself. There are some things that I've heard leaders say when the camera is not on them. And they say it. And when the camera comes on, they will tell you, we cannot say this to the public. Because the public will take the information. Not everybody sits down to analyze and, understand what is being said. So there are people who are waiting for those words. They will take it and they will run with it. So you must ensure that you You don't just speak because you are moved to, or because you are emotional about something, or because you feel that you're right. Sometimes in that you're right, you are not even right because you're not looking at the whole picture. So I understand the part of Nigerians saying that you did not even show empathy. Some people are also saying that he has not even gone to the locals to even understand what their pains are. And so you don't come out without even doing, if you came out and you gave the statistics, I went to this village, I spoke to these chiefs, I heard from these people, and this is what I have analyzed out of the situation. It gives your conversation a richer vibe, and then people would make their own decisions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Thank you, BC, for saying it as I wanted to, even better by, talking. So Wike might be doing some things. In fact, immediately the Kadria girls kidnapping, he was silent for a few days. Immediately he was called out. We started seeing police combing every corners, and bringing out people, some people denying. In Abuja, they found someone who even staged his own kidnap and all of that. They started to work. So we saw that he had a meeting with security agencies. But there are certain times when your silence is better, is golden.
True. At
this time, this politics of response, that is the usual thing happening in Rivers State, where governor will talk back at Amechi will talk, governor will talk at PDP. That is not the style of now. And he must come in tune with the present office that he's occupying. It should not be at this time when people are saying they've kidnapped our relatives. They are even killing. They've killed 2 young girls that you want to now debate the matter of whether you're working or not working, to the extent you start to do some kind of comparison. So the senator representing the Abuja at the Senate, King Gwigwe, has also said the Senate will summon him to know what he's doing. And he felt the need to respond. If the Senate summons him, he should show up with empathy, understanding that the kind of topic that they are summoning is not who thief money, who allocate road. It is lives that they are discussing. So at this time when he comes before the House, he would have every response from the place of empathy, not from the place of, you people are attacking me. Was there not an FCT chairman before me? If somebody failed before you, this is not the time to come and compare. This is the time to say, I'm so sad by what has happened. My heart is with my people. I'm doing my utmost best. I will continue to do the best till this doesn't happen anymore. That silences and counts every nerve. But for you to come out and say, don't mind them. They like to, this is, that's...
I hear you, Nima, because as I said, when I watched this limited series by UNILAG, I keep forgetting the name, that talked about the war, something about that they were still talking about the fact that the governor at the time from the series got a whole village killed because he had interest in the precious stones in that community, and the fact that it was almost like an acceptable thing. Okay, we have interest to this from the top. And when I watched that, it opened my perspective that, listen, there's propaganda and there's criminal behavior. And if you look at it from a politician's perspective, that, okay, I'm governing here. I have distractors from River State who hate me and they have an agenda to make me look like I'm not doing my work. So the lens in which he is seeing it is different from the lens you and I are seeing it. So we are seeing that 2 girls have been killed. He is saying that, listen, this is just a political tool being used against me. And so how do we therefore...
But the tool costs 2 lives. That's the point.
Yeah.
So the reality, we know for a fact, we saw the burial of these 2 girls.
Yeah.
Whether or not they are doing Rivers State policies and disturbing him in FCT, this is not the time to batter back. This is the time to just do your work, visit the families and face your work till Rivers State learn to know that you are not minding them. They will mind themselves. But, Wike is a man of many parts. And I think he should understand that this position he's occupying now is a second chance at governance. He's still a governor in my eyes. It's like, you just left Rivers State and became the governor of the FCT. See the FCT as a state that you must be on top of things. And also, the FCT has a lot of politics. They have their indigenous politics that has been from time immemorial. Some people claiming they were in the FCT before it became the FCT, and they should be carried along. Absolutely. They didn't want you to become the FCT prime minister. They want an indigene there. So you play the politics in a way that they will feel their representation in your appointments, in your advisory team. You play the politics that, covers the FCT. Leave Rivers State. It's in your past.
But he didn't mention Rivers.
From what you just said,
in his cabinet, in his appointments. Okay, see, this is my own conspiracy theory. Once Fubara had issues with Wike, we had all his Wike recommended appointees resigning. Where did you think they were going?
Abuja.
And you are not playing the politics of Abuja. So let's assume that what he's saying is true, that there's politics, people who don't like him. The Abuja people too don't like him. So is it all that politics you respond?
So let me go and let me go and extra.
Focus.
When we come back, we continue with this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So before the break, I know you had said that people in the FCC don't like Wiki, and allow us to be careful and not generalize. That's it, everybody in the FCC doesn't like
context.
Okay.
So before his appointment as minister, or following his appointment as minister for the FCT, we saw the outcry. You know, people claiming to be Abuja indigenes, saying when is the turn of our son. Some people even said it has to be a northerner, and all of those politics. So we're just talking in politics. If you're saying as a FCT minister you have baggage of people who don't like you here and there are existing reasons not to like. Because some people have their own issues, that their own person that they love for different various sentiments across board. But as the minister now, you have already been made the minister. Focus on the issues and leave those, those distractions that you continue to get from left and right and center.
Let me take this call from Omotaya. Thanks for calling, Omotaya. Good morning, you're live.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm calling from Buhari in FCT Abuja, where the kidnapping recently happened. Regarding the topic you are discussing, the kidnapping in FCT, I live very close to where the kidnapping happened. You know, it was even underreported because it happened in a lot of places within the Buhari axis. And I'm happy the security people have stepped because we have to resort to self-help. Some of us were sleeping in the night in my area. We were just behind the Nigerian law school, very close to where the kidnapping happened. So right now, we have a vigilante, watching over us in the night. Throughout the Christmas and New Year period, it was traumatic. We were not sleeping at all. All the men in the area had to be doing security at night to keep us safe. So what the minister was saying that the thing was it was not an exaggeration at all. It was real. And it was, it was happening like every day, day in, day out. So that's just my contribution.
Thank you very much, Omotaya, for sharing. Yes.
So let's talk about a challenge I feel the Minister Wike has and a few other politicians have, and it's a blind spot that politicians need to deal with. It is when you begin to see every feedback and every criticism as political and from your enemies against you. You will miss out and your good work will be ill-spoken of because you are seeing every feedback as propaganda, as an attack against your person from your political opponents. That is the biggest mistake that Wike made in this statement because he categorized people's pain and death and cries as propaganda. Yes, it might have been fueled by propaganda, but the root was not propaganda.
Thank you.
And as long as you are seeing it that way, you will not be able to take the feedbacks necessary. There are several feedbacks that have been coming to Wike, and I want him to work. He was brought in there because there is a feeling like, oh, this guy did a lot of work in Rivers State. Let's bring him into FCT. Let's see if we can get back. Was it Nuhu Ribadu or El Rufai? Is it El Rufai? Let's get back that El Rufai effects of massive work going on. Not just demolition, but practical things. So they made good moves. I have to acknowledge that. They said all the non-painted buses and public transport system in Abuja has been banned, that only painted public transports would be used. But there's also the fact that there's no bus stops. There are no regulated places where you would drop off people. Like, there's a part of the planning that needs to take place. You need to be seen to be working. Don't address propaganda. Don't address politicians that are making noise. Just address the people that you know are your citizens that you're taking care of right now and do your work. And at the end of the day, those that will complain would later see that you're not feeding the fire. Because right now, He's feeding the fire.
That's what the president is doing. He's focusing on his work. You know, people are criticizing the president. The guy is just going there.
They are not
He's
replying.
focused.
He's not replying.
He's not
feeding the
He's
fire.
not evil at all. He's just doing his work.
Yeah.
Let me take this call from Ismail. He's calling from Abuja. Thanks for calling. I'm so sorry about that.
I lost that, yes.
Yeah.
So I think that it's not the job of a leader to be bothered about whether they like you or not. No matter how good you are or how bad you are, you always have people that will like you and people that will not like you. They will not just like your face. So your business is to go in and do the job. And as a leader, you must learn to test the pulse of the people. What are the people's pains? How can I help alleviate these pains? How many people are crying? What are their needs? If you focus on that, your good works will speak for you. When people are condemning you on one side, other people will be coming out to say, no, this person was able to do this, do that. And I understand that insecurity has been rife all over the country, not just in Abuja. There were times, over the years that we had major insecurity issues in places in Abuja as well. So it's not the first time that it's happening. And so putting a blanket over, they don't like me, these are my enemies, this is likely propaganda, is shifting the goalpost on what you're supposed to be focusing on. We have a problem of insecurity, terrorism, kidnapping, herders and farmers clashes all over the country. The focus should be on what best can we do? How do we liaise with these local people who are selling their people out? Because those people that are coming in with the guns and everything have people that are giving them information. How do we buy these people to understand that they cannot sell their brothers and their sisters? Those are the conversations that you'll be coming out to say, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. Give us a little time and see how it goes. Not that they don't like me, they're fighting me.
Let me take this call from Dixon, calling from Abuja. Thanks for calling, Dixon.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. This is my first time caller.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I thank God that you people on FCT today, not especially on weekend. Yes, because many things are happening here, and the man, the way he's going, it seems that he has a different agenda over it. In the sense that he is supposed to concentrate on the administration of the FCT, not pursuing the touts or this. The way things are going here, I'm a retiree since 2006 up to today. Our entitlement has not been paid. It's FCD. I work there. Every day we write a letter to them. They will say they are on it. Repatriation up to today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon. I'm trying to, I was having trouble hearing you, but I'm sure they're hearing at home. So I know there was somebody used the word empathy earlier, and I think going by comparing him to the president, because there are times where maybe he'll make an announcement or make an appointment, and Nigerians say, no, this person doesn't qualify. And he'll come back and apologize and remove the person and bring a different person. That is the leadership people are expecting from governors, from ministers across board, where though you are focusing on your work, you have an ear out there to hear what's going on, and then you address it and focus on the matter, not on the politics. But I think that what you said is really critical, where politicians across board, because this is a man saying renewed hope, renewed, and I'm thinking, okay, I hope you're not the only one that is thinking renewed hope.
We said it.
You're the only person that is thinking renewed, because not only you, they manage to renew hope. Every other person is doing their political agenda. They're focusing on their method, their own techniques, their methodology is what they know. So somebody needs to remind politicians of empathy, politicians of understanding the role they play. It's more about service.
Please, can we talk about the fake kidnappings, though?
I'll take that in a moment, because I wanted to link that to the person who was advocating for death by hanging. For this kidnapping. I mean, this is a conversation we've had in the past.
Yeah.
And you said something about
we all agree that I think everybody does. Any human being would agree that death by hanging should be the rule for kidnappers. However, we have a long litigious process. So maybe we'll create a special court like we do for election. Because for those that are found kidnapping, yes, we should be able to have a special court for kidnappers, because you need to do a public show of the justice being meted out to them. So the public show of justice would serve as a deterrent. Because we have young people aspiring now to be kidnappers. Yes, we have young people that have hustled, and they will see their friend. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? What do they do? You get one uncle You know, they are getting information around. So it's now beginning to look attractive because there is no justice.
Industry.
Yes, it's a thriving industry that is booming. But when we start having this set of people
Public
were hanged,
display.
public they did it that time when they were doing firing squad. It was a bit gory to see, but it achieved the goal at the time.
It was a
The
decree.
military, yes, it was a decree.
That was done then.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I said, we have to bring some of these things back.
The Senate and the House of Assemblies can do it, because if you make it unified, not that in one state you can...
President can make that, he can now.
He can sign it.
You know, he can't make that kind of decree. It has to be
a law.
Let me take this call from Bright. It's calling from Abuja again. Good morning, Bright. You're live.
God bless you.
Go ahead, please.
I want to appreciate the efforts you people are doing over here.
Thank you, sir.
From Kugwa. The topic you people are addressing, I concur with you in total, but there are some areas I want to add. Okay. Since his emergence as the FCT minister, we've not seen much effort from the community within FCT to help with him. He's an individual. He may not come from the north. That one alone has a crack on his record because of indigenous will not allow him to an extent. What I'm saying politically, that the situation in Abuja is not all that the highest peak. Previously, before we came in, we'll be having previous flashpoints where kidnapping, headmen, those things. But what we are saying, like what people said, let them focus individually, collectively, so that FCT will have good security. And those people criticizing me, they should minimize. I know criticizing me, they bring best out of him. It's not from today.
Okay. I didn't hear most of what he said, but I think it was a bit blurry.
Yeah.
So I think he was speaking in favor of Wiki.
Yeah. So we've talked on this issue, the sort of punishment we give to people who do these heavy crimes, and I've always advocated that we are not at the level that we want to go to. And I know we have a lawyer in the house today who will sue me afterwards. But I believe that for us to get to a place where we are properly civilized, we must take some drastic steps to get there. We are imbibing all of the democracy that we are not ripe for, especially when it comes to crime. There are issues that we can say, okay, let the democratic process, take its course. Issues that don't have to do with lives, where people are dying and all of that. We can go through, take all the long haul, all the long journey to democracy and all of that. We understand that. But issues where people are being killed for mere profit, for whatever it is, we cannot go through that long democracy, because at the end of the day, we find that the people who are hurt do not get the justice that they deserve at the end of the day. You put people in prison, and one administration can just come and say, okay, oh yeah, you people should be going, we forgive you, the state forgives you, the country forgives you, and then they go away with the crimes. We put people in prisons, and we do not have the proper mechanisms to reform them. So some people have taken it here on some papers where somebody went to prison, and while he was there, he went by just being a mere petty thief. I think he picked up a phone or something. By the time he came out, he became a proper armed robber. What did he learn there? When they are gathering together in the evenings and gisting, he was learning, they were teaching each other how they carried out the activities that brought them there. And he learned and became worse. So we're not ready for all those long pet them to forgiveness. That is what God should be doing for us. That's not what we should be doing for ourselves. All the countries that have been able to succeed. No, listen now. In some things, we can allow that. In some things. But not in everything.
She's talking my language now.
Because we never ripe. We never ripe. I know. We never ripe for this democracy that we're chasing.
Now you're coming to where we are
So let
going.
us take it one step at a time. It's like a child that all he knows how to eat is amala. Then because the world is progressing, you start bringing lasagna to this child. This child will not eat this food. So let's go step by step. I would like to see all those sentences, all those public display of killing all these criminals, so that people will know that if you try this in Nigeria, just like they do in Singapore and other countries.
Let me take this call from Joe, I think, from Surulere. Thanks for calling. How are you doing? Joe, go ahead. You're live.
I'm doing well. Please, in the name of God, I beg you, I want to join the last caller from what he said.
Okay.
the last caller.
Yes, go ahead.
Mentioned that the minister Wike may not be entirely, wrong.
Okay.
Politics of Abuja is very deep. Some people have seen Abuja as their own, that they must produce the minister, is own to them. No, it's not true. That was not the reason why Abuja was founded. Let me shock you. Abuja, all the people that are resident in Abuja at that time were paid to leave the place. They were paid, they were compensated by the Justice Abuja panel. Today, they came back and they are claiming Abuja. Don't overlook what the last caller said. This thing may have been planned to embarrass the minister. Wike is not a small boy in this business.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. I didn't hear the last caller because it wasn't clear in the studio. But now I can, based on what he's saying, I think now we can know what the last caller said.
I understand that there might be truth to what the two previous last callers have said. But we're talking about empathy. 2 people. A family lost 2 people. Even if it was a political thing, like it was
propaganda of the highest
level. Even if it was a politician that sponsored the killing, and you know the person that sponsored the killing, you will not come outside and say politicians are sponsoring killings for me. So you are dealing with politics. Mr. Joe was dealing with politics. Mr. Bright was talking about politics. Wike was talking about politics. I'm saying talk about lives being lost, kidnappings happening. That's what we want. So politics, you can discuss that inside with your kitchen cabinet.
You don't want to know.
On how you will strategize.
In public, you shouldn't say that.
The creation of the FCT. Yes, that might
I didn't want us to get into those politics.
That's politics. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. We should not get into. We should focus now on the lives.
Somebody said
lost.
Evans is still going to court.
Yes.
Imagine the guy that should have been given capital punishment long ago. It will serve as a deterrent to others.
But you see, that's what our president said. Our president said, listen, when I was a military guy, I don't have to wait all those laws. Yeah, for the former president, sorry. Oh, that's the president.
Yes.
Our former president, Buhari, was saying, listen, when I was a military in charge, these kind of things, I do a decree, they're done. But now we're in a democracy, and democracy means you have to rule of law.
A lot of injustice followed. You don't even want to sit with the people who suffer dearly for not getting their fair hearing. There's a reason why the fair hearing is a very core principle of justice. One of the strongest principles of natural justice is the right to hear, to say your side. And some people never get to hear that side. Alufo. They were accused of stealing, and the mob thought, hey, it's the same thing now. That's what we are saying.
No.
No, that we should do it fast.
No. It's not jungle justice.
There's a solution. We can have a special court that sits every day over this matter. Okay. But the issue still is that when the special court, all these courts that are even not special, they give their convictions and their sentences, death sentences.
The governors
will refuse to sign. They're waiting. And those people, while they are knowing that they might be killed one day, they will train whoever they see that comes in the prison. So we are the ones enabling, the governors, the executive, not necessarily the judiciary.
Let me take this call from Abdul Rahman. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning.
You see, the problem we're having in... are you with me?
Yes, we are. Go ahead.
The problem we're having in Abuja is very, very funny. It's just that the previous government, present government, is to learn from the previous government who succeeded in security of Abuja. Somebody cannot even advise the occupants of Abuja from outside, like the man from Surrey, what he's trying to say. There's nothing like politics of Abuja or whatever. We are talking about human beings. We are here, know what we are thinking. Before El-Rufai, during Abuja, before El-Rufai, there's a lot of insecurity. Most roads were blocked by military. In fact, bomb blast everywhere. When the fight came, then I was in Karimo. You have to, for 5,000, as long as 5,000, to keep under your queue before bed. In case if this unwanted guest happen to visit you, you have something to offer. But when the refinery came in, the first thing, okay, at a night is a program. When he came in, the first thing he did was that the insecurity, he summoned all the security apparatus in Abuja. He wants DPOs. He said, DPOs, my closeness to president, you understand, will lead your termination from appointment. If anything happens, security life. He taxed them. He gave them what you want. Believe me, nothing. Since then, we didn't hear anything. We live peacefully. You know, this man came, Mr. Wike came. He was shouting up and down. He didn't even care for security. What I expected of him is, first of all, security. Because he would, Wike refused to believe that all the foreign embassies are in Abuja. The Abuja holds all embassies. Abuja holds all ministers.
But isn't it kind of coincidental that this kidnapping kind of just reactivated in the last few months since this administration? So some will say it's probably intentional. You know, they are just like the previous callers have been saying that there are deliberate actions being carried out just to discredit the FCT. Fine, and we're saying that we agree that could be possible. We're saying that he should use empathy to understand that lives have been lost. However, I would like to link us this conversation to what you said earlier, that self-kidnapping is now rampant because we are treating these matters with somewhat kid gloves. You know, people now see we've created an industry of kidnapping such that even if I want to discredit a governor, I can easily use that tool. Because if it was so difficult to do that, I wouldn't even think about it. But now I know that kidnapping to the point where people are now even thinking, maybe me too, I can kidnap myself and get people to donate money for me.
One of a small Oba, Shangisha here now, the former Oba, what happened? How did he leave the deposed one? He was deposed because he was found out that the kidnapping was family arranged. A whole Oba of Shangisha. So these things had been happening. It's just that now it is happening more because we are seeing how people are gathering. If you come out now, if you call family members that, oh, you are hungry for food, they might not answer you. They'll say you are lazy. But if you call family members and say they kidnapped your children, money will come out. So because of that, we're now having more people seeing kidnapping as a viable option. And the biggest challenge is Nigerians don't trust the police enough to go and report. Because if you report to the police, it's easy to find out that this is a fake kidnapping. I'm only going to pay the ransom through police or something like that. But we are hearing cases of kidnappers who say, don't talk to the police about it. People will not pay the ransom without telling the police. Some even say, I read it in the papers yesterday, Punch investigation, that people specifically under doing it in Agopalas, that people within Agopalas that used to do Thanksgiving after kidnapping, now they don't even do Thanksgiving. You will just keep quiet. They don't even go to church to go and say, oh, thank God that they've rescued our person or we paid. They will pay the money, enter their house, say, thank God we are in our house, and just not see anything. So the real kidnappings are taking place, and there is the fake kidnapping, and we have a case of how are the police going to respond to it, at least.
Let me take this call from Ajangbadi. Good morning, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead, sir.
The Abuja issue, let me give you a good narrative of it. Okay. I retire as a director in Federal Ministry of War.
Okay.
Abuja have been compensated. All those people have been compensated by Abuja panel with a decree that was brought to create Abuja. And these people are coming back again. Babangida killed the whole thing, and he created chiefdom in Abuja, which are supposed not to be. Those are the things that is creating the problem. Right. During Jonathan, do you remember the bomb blast at Nyanya, which killed so many people? One of my daughter's colleagues in the NEPA was among. The woman died. They are sponsoring this thing to discredit the minister and the present government. They know the people that are doing it. Why is it now? Where is kidnapping starting now in FCT? I retired in 2010 as a maintenance officer in Federal Ministry of War. And I managed Federal Ministry of Labor during Honorable Minister Nwogu. Why is the kidnapping coming in now?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kolari, for your own
Let's
views.
not go into politics.
Let's take a few comments and we wrap up on this.
Yeah, so Mina Tipi says, I remember when insecurity was very high in Lagos. Robberies, burglars, kidnappings, etc. But we had a governor who took action and addressed the problem. The onus is on Wike to prove himself capable. Corey Michael says, 2 teenage girls lost their lives. Many are losing their lives. How dare Wike?
He says, we who believe in the rule of law and the principle of hearing shouldn't let our voices be drowned out by a vocal minority who think democracy is slow and justice should be a matter of sharp. We owe it to our kids. Kodu Funky Flex says, my take to my former governor, now FCT Minister Wike, he should study the terrain before taking actions, because why he succeeded in Rivers State is because he understood the terrain 100%. So he should learn from Mr. President on how to handle naysayers.
Hafsa says, if it was planned, then Wike should go after those. Whatever the case, kidnapping happened, people lost their lives. Then go after the culprits. End of the story.
I think we can end with that. That's all we can take on this. We're just really hoping that kidnapping indeed, especially in FCT and across the nation, is reduced by our security operatives as soon as possible. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So you know how we like to celebrate women doing great things in their field. Today, joining us on the show is a woman who recently emerged as the overall best graduating doctoral thesis award winner at the University of Lagos, UNILAG, Dr. Aminat Olawumi Ige. She'll be telling us her ordeal and some of her challenges during her pursuit of her Ph.D. program. Welcome to the show, man. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much.
Mathematics, go.
Mathematicians.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I read your interview in one of the papers saying that that you had quite a bit of challenges during the time of your study, but thank God you came out top. Give us an insight into a bit of your background and what led you to this point.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Well, the PhD, yes, it's PhD is in mathematics, something I've always wanted to have, after my MSc in mathematics. But, at that point, that you were like, PhD now again. Where is the money? I want to work. I want the money first. And so I went to banking. And then, but, my PhD supervisor, my main supervisor, that's Professor Johnson Lalero, while I was in the bank, every time he would call and he would say, you are carried away by money. Your PhD, you are carried away by money. You've forgotten research. So he kept on reminding me that I really want to go deeper into mathematics. So every time I tell myself, I'm still going back. So I also have a couple of people telling me, but you like this maths, you know these maths. What are you doing in banking? And I'm doing very well in banking because I was flying high also in the banking industry. I was getting promoted. I was doing great. Yeah. So there was this little bit of confusion then. Along the line, the former Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University, Professor Fagbon, we happened to come from the same town, and he also kept reminding me that you said you want to do research. You said you want to impact in more people. How many people will you impact in the bank? I said, I will. He said, but there's a goal, you said. I said, I want to have it all. So, Professor Fagbon was there, Professor Laleru was there, and a couple of other people. It was not an easy decision for me because I knew, taking PhD in mathematics means that I would leave the bank at that period. Some people said, but you can do both. I said, see, in the bank, I'm doing something not entirely different, but different. So I was in the data squad, but my mathematics is pure mathematics. It's an abstract world. It's not what I was doing in the bank. And I always like whatever I'm doing. I don't just want to do it. I want to come out exceptionally. Okay. So I was like, oh, this money, the money in the bank, then. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a hard one.
Let's get a few more questions for you.
It was a hard one. And
how many years did you?
So I would say 4 sessions. So that's 5 years, but 4 sessions because of the COVID and then the strike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, break and.
Let me ask you.
Okay.
You know, when we go to school, we like to say, okay, I want to become so and so. That's why I want to study this. So it takes me to that line. Now you finished, you became a banker and decided to go back for your PhD. Now, let me ask you in layman's terms, you know, the way you talk to your children. What do you want to become from this mathematics PhD that you have?
Okay. What do I want to become now?
Yes,
or what
now.
What did I want to become then?
Now. Because you have an additional qualification. So
Yes.
where is this mathematics leading you to?
Okay. So right now I lecture students in mathematics at Lagos State University. So what I want to become, and I am already becoming, and inshallah I want to become the more, is a woman of impact. Okay. So if God has said mathematics is the pathway, I'm accepting that and I'm taking on it. So I will keep teaching mathematics. I am open to go for my postdoctorate in an Ivy League university.
Okay, now you're still studying.
So yes. So, and of course, it's the world has gone really techy. So STEM related, but more of impact. Impact in the world on youths, women, through mathematics, through non-mathematics, because my speech, you see, is not really about mathematics, but I'm glad that I've inspired so many through it.
So I want to ask about this, your thesis. Help me to understand.
Okay.
Can you break down what the thesis was about? This thesis was what got you the overall, yes, that's the award. So what was the thesis about and what are we hoping to use? Because a lot of universities, a lot of our PhD come up with theses, but they end up as documents. So this award-winning thesis, how do you intend to use it to transform lives?
Okay, so I'll try not to bore you with the mathematics so much. So the title of the thesis is O-metric spaces. Actually, I would have just loved to keep it as O-metric spaces. But because when you have a research, you apply it. So it's a robust, a novel unification and generalization of metric type spaces, then with application to fixed point theory. So fixed point theory is something that is popular in mathematics. So it's a theory around moving something. I can make this cup of water as an example, cup of tea as an example. If I keep turning, and there's this theory that says that at some point, if you break the waters into particles, that does not leave that same point, no matter how much you turn. And there's something unique about it, and it's very relatable to real-life situations. So I have not applied my thesis directly to real-life situations because, in fact, discovering O-metric spaces was really a whole lot of work. It was almost impossible. It's a new space.
Wow.
So, but fixed-point theory has been used in finance, been used in engineering. In fact, there's a lecturer at the University of Lagos that's used fixed-point theory to detect a murderer in a murder case. So it was difficult and through it. So in the future, I hope to apply it more.
Allow me to farms. Seriously. Just meeting you is like, you know, while you were giving that speech, two of my friends were present and they were putting it on Facebook Live immediately. And I was like, this hijabite is, you know, going places. I'm so impressed by your work, but I know it wasn't easy. I had some lecturers back in school. I'm also a mentee of Professor Fagbon. And I had them doing a doctorate degree for 11 to 12 years. Some of them had to leave the country because doing it at let me just mention the university, but somewhere in the Southwest was tough because of the way it was. So what hurdles did you face? Was it easy? I read somewhere you said you got divorced and you still continued and remarried, while you were having... Yes. So how was it? At some point, did you not feel the need to, this thing, I'm a woman, let me just mind human things?
Yes. At some point, I felt, in fact, what I used to say is I would say that, please, please, please. When people ask me about the PhD, I would say, please, please, for goodness sake. There are women at Balogun Market making millions every day, selling guinea and lace. People should not, and then, you know, it becomes more embarrassing when you are not a PhD holder yet, and people would see me, and they would call me doctor. And then I'm like, God, they're calling you doctor. I hope I'll become this doctor someday. So when I'm on campus, you know, Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, our VC, you know, when she meets me on the hallway, Madam, when are you bringing this thing? Professor Boyo will see me. My doctor, how far? What's UNILAG doing to you? Last week is waiting. You know, the VC is the one, DVC is the one. And I'll tell myself, they did it. I can do it.
So you drew inspiration.
I missed my challenges. And about the divorce case, yes, I had to grow thick skin. No, it was not easy. At some point, it got me down. I was depressed. And my supervisors were like, If you need a month, take it. Take all the time. Relax. And when you're good, we continue. And I just told myself, this is something I want to get and I must get it.
Let me ask you a question, because I've been thinking of how to articulate this question properly. Okay. We have lots of Nigerians who are professors, PhDs, they've done lots of studies. And many of them, because of, I'll call it a glass ceiling in our country, where there are not too many options. So for you right now, as this doctor with this PhD in mathematics, the best you think you can do right now is teach. Let's just imagine a perfect world where you can actually apply this thing. What's your wish list? What's that thing that if we were in a country or a society where we'd see someone like you say, you know what, I can use this lady to create this airplane. I can produce, I can construct or manufacture this thing because this lady has the cerebral capacity to do it. So let's just imagine you're in a perfect world. What is your wish list? Aside from teaching, what is that thing that Nigeria can use? Because we have a lot of people watching television right now, watching you, and they're seeing, how can I support this woman? What's your wish list? What would you love to do with this thing you have?
Okay, thank you. Though we might not be in a perfect world in Nigeria, but with resources in place, right now, I would wish that, and teaching is not just about, when I say teaching, it's not just going to teach math, I mean. Yeah. So research is part of it, and research should be applicable for it to be fantastic. So if you ask me now, what will I like to do, just as you said, I would wish that there is a research laboratory where I can bring students who are interested in my field, the same way I wish I had one. And then all we do there is sit down and say, okay, this is a theorem. This theorem, what does it bring to the table? What does it do to Nigeria? How does it apply to a particular, like I said, there was a murder case. In fact, economic situations. Okay, so it's just where we can concentrate. And it starts with funding, for instance. So I cannot keep students who don't even know where to get their next meal in the lab. Nigerians are very cerebral. We just need the enabling environment.
Okay. Let me ask you back to, still within what Morayo is saying, but we do have unique challenges in Nigeria that seem to, the challenges, the way our politicians are doing, or they have done since democracy, they obviously don't understand the problem. And every time they understand the problem and come up with a solution, Nigerians, in our smartness, outsmart them in the solution and create another problem. So obviously, we need to have a think tank of brains like yours helping to solve the problems that our leaders are confronting. So with the mathematics, this theorem, this critical points, how does that affect fixed point theory? How does that affect? How can we use fixed point theory to affect our revolving naira? Revolving naira. This naira that is jumping up and down. What can we do? This mathematics.
How can you help Nuhuri, Habadu, NSA?
Yes.
So many, we have problems in this country.
Let's even face economy.
We don't want you in the classroom.
Mathematics, numbers, economy. How can we solve this, our fixed point, our naira, around whatever is revolving?
You know, I love one word you used. You said sabotage. And when there is sabotage, theorems fail. Actually, yes, because this is it. Someone has told you that to move from this distance to the next distance, move on a straight line. Then you are blindfolded. Then somebody somewhere wicked decided to now pick the lawn or something and make it curve. Yeah. Now you will not be able to go on a straight line. So once there's sabotage, there's a challenge. And I used to say that it all starts from us. When we even talk about leaders, as followers, what do we do? So we're complaining about leaders at work. What am I doing? Am I even behaving properly at work? In the family, am I fair? At work, am I fair? So we just talk about leaders. They did not become leaders in one day. It started from who they were in their families and in their society.
There's a part of your speech that touched me, and we've always said it on this table. Okay. We're saying, there's several parts, but this part you were talking to the students, said, as you move to the outside world, I want you to see the problems of our country, Nigeria, as opportunities calling for creative solutions rather than disasters from which to run to richer climes and greener pastures. We have Nigerians in every country on this earth. Name it. And they're not ordinary Nigerians, so they're doing amazing things. But they'll tell you, you cannot walk back home. But you stayed. You stayed in Lasso, you lectured there, you encourage people to, you're talking about funding now, you're talking about research. How do you see it when your mates leave? And how many more young people are you impacting to say,
When is she leaving?
For instance, I don't think she's leaving because our mentors are here too. So, for instance, we have this pharmaceutical problem now. They say JSK, don't leave everybody, but we have local ones, and we are thinking it's impossible to even have the resources to make, medicine here. How would you address that?
So actually, that statement was from the Vice Chancellor, not me. Though I've seen some papers quote it. But about staying back, about what to do, like I said earlier on, as long as the sabotage is one problem there, then I stayed back. It's not like there was no pressure for me to leave. I had a lot of opportunities, as in, some people were like, just fill the form. So, but I said, I've never really been okay with you just picking up from Nigeria and you're gone. So when my friends leave, I'll tell them, no, it's good. All of us cannot stay. But please be a good ambassador and please come back home. Go do well, come back home and impact on others. So she was asking me when I'm going to leave. Well, anytime I decide to leave the country, one thing is that I don't know if I'm even leaving. And if I have to leave, sometimes I'm leaving for a course. When I mean a course, probably not mathematics, for a reason, and then I don't think I can do without coming to Nigeria every 6 months. I want to come back home because this is where it happens. Anywhere I go to, this is where the place that matters. Thank you.
I agree with you, my sister. This is where it happens. So I want to ask you, I know there are people who would prefer to study abroad because they believe that, studying here, there are a lot of challenges, the strikes and all of that. But I want you to, in all honesty, give me some unique challenges you faced while you were doing your study here and what could be done to better it so that more people can just choose to stay here and do their studies.
Yeah, truly, there are unique challenges. And but I told a friend sometimes again, I've told many people that sometimes we don't know. For me, I stayed back and I'm glad I did. I don't know if I would have been able to float abroad when I was in depression and co. I don't know if that white man or woman will have been able to understand my unique problem. But because these people are Nigerians, they're my supervisors, they've known me, I think it actually helped me. They know when I can take the break. Yes, encouraged me. Then there are challenges. See, we still have this issue of some lecturers feeling that you cannot graduate in time because they did not graduate in time. Yes, I faced it. I had things like, where are you running to? I had issues where I want some lecturers to just sign a document for me and it's a whole lot of problem. The challenges are there. But, like I always tell people, if you are built for greatness, you are meant for greatness, and there are no obstacles, you don't have stories of thorns. How do you tell stories of crown? So stay back here, do something for yourself. There are challenges. Focus on overcoming them, and you will. As long as you tell yourself, I will overcome, you will.
So let me add that to that question in a different way. Do you think that you would have had a better journey to being this PhD holder in mathematics if you had gone to do this PhD abroad?
That's not that question. Why are you trying to...
No, what I'm asking is because people are watching and thinking that our educational sector is not working. And she mentioned challenges, but she should also mention the opportunities. What are the blessings? What were the things that you feel like you cannot get it in that place you are in?
Encouragement.
So I've mentioned one, because I've had friends go abroad and they said they are down and it's lonely there because they said all their neighbors shut their doors. There's nobody. And then sometimes their supervisor does not even, what they think is a problem, they are brooding on. The supervisor is like, what's the big deal about this? But a Nigerian would say it. Because of that's what them too. Would I have done better out there? I would not say yes. Oh, no. And because, yes, and I would not say no. But because my thesis results is not like, it's a very good thesis result for Nigeria. Ometric spaces is something that has never been done before. Not in Africa, not in the world.
Wow.
No, in the world of mathematics, it's a novel result entirely. So if I had been in the US or in the UK, it is still ometric spaces.
Wow. Amazing.
Fantastic. So we have to wrap up with you.
I want to ask about the divorce.
Go ahead. Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to touch that.
Will you want, because...
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. If there's something I'm not comfortable with, I'll let you know.
Fantastic. Our culture makes a divorced woman into a failure. Stigma. And there's this stigma around the fact that you have divorced because of school and you're still facing the school. Now, what was the societal support you had, and how did you encourage yourself to continue to strive for your goals despite having to overcome that particular challenge?
The truth is that if you're a divorced woman in Nigeria, don't look forward to societal supports. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, fine. I had a lot of things. In fact, when I walk into a man's office or I have something to do with a man, and just by virtue of being professional or something, the next thing the wife or whoever is thinking is that she's brilliant, she's that, my husband. That's it. Then that is even, yes, and that is on one part. Even your fellow women are looking at you like you are not doing great. Even some men, you are vulnerable and they see you as such and they make you feel like you are not, like I have people that used to call me auntie or use disrespect. The moment I got divorced, the person, I just saw like two people, they just called my name, Piam, like that.
Wow.
And, I will tell every divorced woman out there, when you encounter these problems, don't dwell on it. Just look at the person and say that you will come back to return that respect in double fold. I will not even have to talk. Just focus, grab what you have to grab. And
let me take this call from David. David, thanks for calling. You're live.
All right. Thank you
Good
very
morning.
much. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you very much. I hope people are hearing me. Well, I think one of the solutions.
Go ahead, David. Oh, the line is not clear. We lost that. Let's take a few more questions.
Yeah, you are not finished though. The remarriage,
Yes. So that's it. And I'll also say that, like Yoruba say, they say that if a boss hits you, it's a boss that will still take you to the hospital. So I'm not of this notion of men as scum. Because the truth is that unless we are deceiving ourselves, if you have a good mind by your side, you will do much, much more better than whatever you are doing. So instead of that, just take that as cordial. Take it as your that it has happened, it's destined. Move on and, you take the lessons from it so that this time around,
How did you just meet somebody else so quickly?
No, okay, so I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
And the thing is that once there's someone that is interested in you, are interested in each other, you don't waste time on it so that you don't get into fornication in the process. So it has always been on my campus. Yeah. It's just there as a director of etc. No, there's nothing. In fact, he's like one of the people that used to tell me, you are a Muslim, you cannot stay single forever, go and find someone. Go and find someone. And sometimes
you get the agenda.
Sometimes people will go to him. Sometimes I'll tell him, I saw someone, but this one, his head is not correct. And I'll go, but I didn't think, I didn't see it coming.
Dr. Ege, I need to ask this question, the support towards your doctorate or your career. You're a career-driven person, and you cannot be the general stereotype Muslim woman. We're supposed to be family-oriented, marry, born, children. So career, if you're too much, is that one of the reasons? Was that one of the disagreements that led to the divorce? Were you judged for being too career-focused?
Or was it something else?
Was it something else?
Okay, it's part of it, though. I'll be honest, but it's not like I was too. Well, to me, probably to the other person, I was, because yes, along the line we've had conversations and I've had him say things like, "What are you chasing? You've had this already. Even men don't have this thing that you have already. What are you chasing?" And I'm like, "See, I have a goal. I have a dream. Either you fly with my dream or I fly alone." It's part of it. But by and large, I used to tell people that, yes, I was very young. He is young. We both have our mistakes. Probably if I was this wise, maybe, yes, the challenge with them, maybe I would have managed it better. So we both have but I think this career thing, this I want to fly thing, yes, it's there. But, to my listeners out there, you have a dream. The man is not supportive. He's not buying into it. You don't have to. It's not by fight. Like, there are still ways you can try to get his buy-in. It is when all efforts fail, that is when you can say it's time to fly alone.
Okay, let me take this call from Agbola, from Ilorin. Thanks for calling.
Okay, good morning.
Morning, sir.
I want to appreciate you all. Actually, Aminat is supposed to be one of our greatest products from Arkansas, and seeing her on TV makes me really proud. I just want to appreciate you. We went to the same primary school. I'm glad seeing you on TV again. And I just want to encourage you to invest more of this knowledge into Arkansas town, to bring out more people from this town, to show that they are really proud people from this town, Arkansas.
Yeah, thank you very much, Agbola. Go ahead, BC.
Yes, so Before the question, me and Mo here were just whispering to ourselves. Are you
Don't
sure
say it out, don't say it out.
Okay. Yes. So, you mentioned that you gave an analogy of people who took out the respect they had when the divorce issue happened. And you said that they would bring back the respect. Now, bringing back the respect, did you tie it to marriage, remarrying? What if you didn't remarry? How would you be happy if you had chosen, okay, this is my career now, marriage has failed, let me go on? How do you think you can bring back the respect?
I didn't tie it to marriage because I told myself either I remarry or not. But what I told myself then was that it will get to a point where these people will tell their own kids, well, even if you will not be married, don't be married. If you be divorced, don't be divorced. This is somebody. She is divorced. She is now doing well. Look at the impact she has in the world. So I did not tie it to marriage.
I wanted
but
to
just have a way of compensating because
you.
my plan was that even if I find a man I want, I was going to wait after my PhD before I marry. But I got a very fantastic one that I could not wait till after.
You look like a fantastic person yourself. You're quite bubbly.
I could not wait till... We tried to wait a bit then. I was like... I've known this man and is someone that will not give me... He's not going to give me any problem. It's obvious. So it's not like he's going to...
She's bubbly. She's bubbly. I love her already.
UNILAG convocation, and after that, so how have the people of Akeson, people of Alimosho, I know Lasso will be shouting, but the people of your place, how was the reception? How proud were they?
No, they are very happy. In fact, on my way here, I still spoke with the king on the phone because the Aworis in diaspora in US, UK, and Canada, they are hosting me. I think that should be tomorrow. I have the invite. So, and there will be kings and all of them in. So they are, and you can see even as far as Agbara is an Awori town, even though Ogun State. And the man gave me a chieftaincy title, because of the PhD. So I have a chieftaincy title before, that's Yogi of Akeson Kingdom. And then just immediately after the convocation, after the award,
have you seen her?
It's in the papers.
Have you seen our governor?
No, I've not seen the governor. I'm waiting for his call.
I know. He'll call you.
What is called?
Yogi
of Akeson Kingdom.
And you are an hijabite. That already is a statement.
Well, the hijab. Okay, I think, okay.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yes, I was an hijabite. I've always been an hijabite, even when I got the title. But what I'm about to say is something I've not really said since but maybe because the Muslim papers have not asked me much about it, was that part of what can happen to a woman, and that's why we should be kind to everybody out there. We don't know what they're going through. When the divorce and the depression set in was that I lost my hijab along the line. No, I did not open my hair, but I just started feeling the need of, sometimes you feel like, oh, please. Then I just put on my cap. Even during my PhD, I still wear my cap. Even these days, I wear my cap, my hijab sometimes. Then my husband always tell me, my husband is a very conscious Muslim, so people were expecting that he's going to ask me to gap down or something. So he would tell me that, please, Anike, just please, I'm not asking for too much. I know how you used to dress before all these problems. Just please go back to how you used to dress. It's at least start from there. It's fine for me. So I think I'm consciously going back and...
Yeah, fantastic.
So let me take that. We live in a world, Muslims, we don't talk about it, how these standards of hijabs are being judged.
It's short, it's long.
But it's important to say show love.
Yeah. Let me take this call, Dr. Aminu.
The hijab is in your mind, not what you have put in your head.
Dr. Aminu Kebi from Kebi, thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the wonderful job you ladies are doing. Thank you very much for the wonderful job that you ladies are doing. I think every Nigerian should be proud of what you are doing. We all want our daughters to grow up and be like you. And for the school with the best PhD thesis, you are an inspiration to every girl and every woman in Nigeria. I am from KB and I daily watch your show every single day. And every day I wake up, or when I see my patients, ladies come in, I give them example about you people, the good job you are doing. And I'm happy to hear that divorce did not change her. The job, the everything. This is a great inspiration.
Thank you very much.
In this country. By seeing you, these ladies, there is hope in this country. Thank you for proud.
Thank you very much. So, sorry, I couldn't hear him very well. It wasn't clear, but I'm sure our viewers heard him.
It's just in praises of her. Codflex says, wow, robotics will fit your guests. And then he says, wow, I wish I have her brains.
Going back to that, because I really wanted to, Dr. Laomi, I really, really would like you to open yourself for some kind of engagement at the federal level, because it's not every day you get somebody with PhD in mathematics. The general overseer of my church, Adeboye, is one of the few people that I know that this is something that he was really proud. He got a PhD in mathematics, and it's something that he's somebody that is very smart and brilliant, but he ended up being a pastor. We need brains like that solving problems for our country. So it's one thing for you to have it, and I know classroom is wonderful, it's great to impact, but I would really love to see it by the governor of Lagos State or the president or somebody calls you up and say, you know what, let's do a research lab, let's bring in mathematicians, let us see how we can begin to manufacture, solve problems. These ones are all these big companies that live in our country. We'll really like to use your cerebral capacity and resource for our nation. I hope you're open to that opportunity if it comes.
Anything that's at least, I'm a Nigerian. Like, I carry Nigeria in my head, so everything that contributes to the development of the countries.
Yeah. Let me take Malik from Lasso. Thanks for calling, Malik. Social media. Morning, you're live.
Yeah. Chief Dr. Mississippi. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Just to say everybody in Lasso and everybody in 400 level.
On the level, that was my student.
Congratulations. Yeah, I'm calling to say very big congratulations to my lecturer.
I think I know he's talking now.
All right. Thank you, Malik.
Thank you very much, Malik.
Let's take comments on social media.
So I wanted to even ask, because somebody has just called, what you're doing to mentor young girls. And I'm not going to talk about general everybody. Muslim young girls. Yes, I'm going to be very specific because we have peculiar issues. You mentioned one, the hijab judgment and all of that. We don't talk much about it, but I suffered it also. You suffer from people who don't want to see the hijab, and then you suffer from people who think, what kind of hijab is this? And I'll bring a particular example. So when I became Amira, I was Amira in Lasso before I finished. And the first thing I received was, this size of hijab has to increase because you're not only enough. And I said, okay. I faced a shura. Appointments in Islam is by Islam. So I faced a shura, people who think I am the fittest to have this. So I remembered going there grudgingly after nominations and didn't want to sit at that shura because I didn't want to become Amira. And all of us had our interviews and I emerged Amira. Somebody had seen something. Why do you now think I must practice religion to conform to somebody's standard? Is it not, just as you said, faith in the heart and how you worship your creator? So we need to talk about that. We also need to talk about families who think, oh, we're Muslims and going this far, having big dreams is too much. Reduce it. Husbands who think, you're too outspoken for me. Why are you not easy to control? Those kind of issues that women face. How are you going to start a mentorship group, that talks to those women? Sadly, I belong to a group of over 200 women, career Muslim women, who are practicing their religion in their careers in apologetic ways. I'd like you to mention, how are you going to start that?
Yeah, thank you. So what you faced, I think I've faced it as well. Especially when I wanted to get married. Like I said earlier, my husband is this very conscious people, and there are people who feel, no, Dr. Ribi, you cannot marry this kind of a person. She's yogi. Some people even went as far as saying that she's an idol worshiper because I wear beads, I don't beads, I wear. See, if tomorrow comes and there's an event in my town or in Awori Kingdom or in Lagos State that I need to dress like a chief, I will have done my hijab and I will still wear my beads. So on my page on Facebook, I've done so many articles to say, this is this person, mathematician, a Muslim, this. I make sure that there's nothing that contradicts each other there. Now, talking about the size of the hijab or anything, so many times my husband will say, I'll write articles, say, please don't post it. Please don't post it, please leave them. So I wrote an article sometime, I wrote hijab, not hijab. I logged it to my page. So I wrote hijab, not hijab, and that article addressed what you are talking about, that see, if you say my hijab is not hijab, and you say your hijab is hijab, the real hijab, which is what you carry, which is how you portray yourself, which is how you behave, which is how you treat people. Do you have it? I think that is the real hijab. Yeah. And then allow people to go on their journey. If they want to go from Cape to whatever, you are not God. They are not serving you.
Right.
So I tell young girls, don't be intimidated. You are telling somebody not to wear short hijab, then you will soon lose that person. The person will not have trust in you, and then you will not even be able to bring the person to Islam anymore later.
I think you're already mentoring with your Facebook. So if anybody wants to know more about you, they should go to the Facebook and read your
comments on social media.
articles
As we
there.
wrap up, let's take a few comments on social media.
People are loving you here on YouTube.
Okay, thank you. I have a lot of friends online.
Yeah.
So during my speech, I acknowledged my friends online. So I said home, abroad, and I said many online because within the period of the award and now, I think I gained, I was on 4,000 plus followers. As at this morning, I was on 15,000 plus. So yes, so I have a lot of friends
Yes,
online.
so
And I love you all, please.
We are proud of you in LASU. I'm proud to be a LASUite.
Oh,
See what Nima here is blushing.
Nima has been blushing since morning.
So congratulations, Professor Akanbi. Also from mathematics department is the person that is wishing you. They say maths and statistics can use data to predict where kidnappers will strike next, for example.
Yes.
So they're saying there's a lot of opportunities for you.
He became Dean of Science yesterday.
Awesome.
He was issued in mathematics.
Yes. Somebody said, Oladidi says, Chai, I had some wicked maths professor and lecturers in those days. Just thinking about them now makes me shiver. So,
David says, such an inspiration to the young generation. Congratulations once again, Dr. Ige.
And you really carry this award matter for
Okay, I think that's all we can take. Thank you so much. Any final words? I mean, as I said, for me, I would really love to see that you flying, not just in the classrooms, but across the country. And I'd like to be good to say, yes, she was on our show. You know, especially in the country that we lack data. We need data, we need information as regards who and who is where, what do we do, the demographics of stuff, you know. So we lack information. And when we have experts like you, we would like to bring you into governance to ensure that we can set things right. But thank you very much for coming joining us on the show today. And my husband sent his wishes because it was when I was tracking you back to back, sending you messages. Have they called you? Are you on the show? Back to my husband tracked her down. Back to could not call me and say, she said you have not called her. What's going on? I'm like, calm down now. Yeah, but it's all good. All right, that's all we can take on the show today. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.